Hello, my name is Reiko Osoroshi. On this channel, I narrate Japanese ghost stories. Today, I will narrate Ghost Story The Mentor Series Part 3, The Mentor and Children. The previous story and Part 1's URL are provided in the description box, so please take a look. The Mentor and Children. I think it was the month when I entered the third year of high school. There's a kindergarten between my home and school. They offer extended daycare services, taking care of kids whose parents work until 5 p.m. I myself am a graduate of that kindergarten, and I used to use the extended daycare service, so I know it well. When it's nearing 5 p.m., it coincides with my after-school hours, being an excellent member of the Going Straight Home Club. So I sometimes see mothers coming to pick up their kids. Today, my senior was there. "Why are you here of all places?" I asked my senior as I got off my bike. He graduated from high school last year and was attending university now. While it was true that this was on his way, there didn't seem to be any particular reason for him to stop. My senior pointed at one of the kids while looking at the kindergarten playground. "See that? Over there. You know, the one with short hair. In the sandbox." Sure enough, I saw him. He looked like a boy, diligently building a sandcastle. There were still a few other kids around, each doing their own thing. Yeah, around this time, just before 5 p.m., it gets pretty boring. You can't play games that require a certain number of people. So everyone ends up playing by themselves, my senior explained, as I recalled the slightly lonely feeling I used to get when my pickup was delayed. "No, that's not the point," my senior said, completely shattering my nostalgic mood. "Look, can't you see it too? That kid, while building the sandcastle, keeps glancing over at the other side of the sandbox." Indeed, he occasionally looked towards the swings as if he had suddenly remembered something. There were currently no kids using the swings. On the right side. The one on the right swing. "No, behind it," my senior specified. His gaze seemed to be drawn to that spot. I stared at the swing until its shape was etched into my mind, then tightly closed my eyes. "Oh, is that a woman?" my senior suggested, even though I had a relatively low level of sensitivity to such things. Using his method, I could see things to some extent. In the shadows behind my closed eyelids, I saw a long-haired woman in a place where there shouldn't have been anyone. What does this mean?" I asked. I felt like I understood what my senior had been looking at. "Yes, the child can see her too." "This is interesting," my senior said. It felt a bit odd for us to be a duo that didn't appear particularly refreshing while observing a group of kindergarten kids. However, curiosity outweighed any discomfort. "Do you think he can see better than me? I mean, I've felt like my sensory skills have improved quite a bit lately," I said, and it wasn't a lie. In the 2 years since I met my senior, I had gained various experiences that had made me somewhat able to see and feel these things. Furthermore, when I was with my senior, my senses were forcibly heightened. I could see things that went beyond my usual perception. However, could that child, who couldn't be older than 5, see that woman even though I couldn't? Well, it's a talent. With enough experience, you can definitely enhance your abilities, but some people have a naturally high minimum threshold, my senior muttered. I said the same about myself and he returned to observing. In the first place, children have a broad sensitivity when they're young. It's so they can learn about everything without feeling discomfort. Just as my senior was about to continue explaining, a car passed behind us. It parked in the kindergarten parking lot, and a woman in a suit got out. "Oh, there's his mother. He looks happy to see her," my senior remarked. The boy, after noticing his mother, abandoned his sandcastle and ran towards her. It's always the parents for kids this age. Parents are everything. As long as they're there, you can entrust your entire life to them without hesitation. I couldn't help but reminisce about my own childhood and feel a warm sentiment. But my senior quickly shattered that warmth. Now, what will he do? Will he tell his mother about that woman, or will he keep quiet? I see, my senior was interested in that. He wanted to know why the child, who should have been able to see things to the same extent as I could, was here. It wasn't the ghost itself that intrigued him but the child's reaction to seeing it. "Oh, the mother went to greet the kindergarten teacher. I wonder if she'll tell the teacher about it." "Oh, it looks like she didn't," my senior commented. The mother and the boy returned to the car parked near us. It felt awkward just watching them, so I looked away. My senior, however, did not avert his gaze. The mother looked at us suspiciously. "What an adorable child you have," my senior said with a nod, but it somehow felt counterproductive. The mother returned the nod silently and seemed somewhat uneasy as she drove away with her child. "I wonder what she thought of us," I started to say to my senior, but when I looked at him, I was taken aback. My senior had an expression of deep discomfort. This just closed off one possibility. "Because of those people, because of the adults," he said. I wasn't sure what he meant, so I decided to wait for an explanation. "That child probably said something in the past, like, 'There's a lady over there, a man is beckoning,' or, 'The dead cat came back,'" my senior said, looking pained. They must have told a parent, a teacher, or some other adult. They were amazed that what they saw wasn't visible to that person. I started to understand the situation. And those people, whether it was the parents or the kindergarten teacher or other adults, they denied it, my senior continued, his face on the verge of tears. For children, adults are absolute, and all judgments are made by those around them, not by the children themselves. His precious talent, his true visible world, was denied. When children see something strange or unusual, they immediately report it to adults. That child, while his mother was greeting the kindergarten teacher, had indeed looked towards the swing set. After staring at it for a while, he shook his head. He indicated that he didn't see anything, that there was nothing to see. We could imagine what the child must have thought. For a child, denial by adults is. It's likely that he believed there was something wrong with himself, and he convinced himself that he didn't see what he saw. And then, he would stop seeing it. Eventually, for real. My senior seemed to be in great pain as he explained, I was like that too. Denied, rejected. I was just like that child. My senior seemed to have moments when he couldn't control those emotions, especially when it came to people who could see, like he could. But, senior, you can still see, can't you? That child might become like you, I said, perhaps trying to offer some comfort. I was choosing my words to convey a message of not giving up. That's impossible. That child is different. I'm different, my senior muttered and then said he was going home. He walked away dejectedly, his departing figure looking lonely and somewhat distorted. I later shared this story with an acquaintance who was a fortune teller. This is how the conversation went. Do you ever wonder why there are so few people in the world who can see ghosts? She asked while doing a tarot card reading. Well, I guess it's a matter of talent, I replied, watching as she turned over a card. Children, you see, many of them can see these things. But adults tell them it's weird. So they stop seeing. That's the case for most people, she continued, revealing another card. For example, people like you, who start seeing things later, can learn to control it or hide it. Children can't do that, she said, flipping another card. People who gain the ability later in life are rare, unless they have someone very strong around them. So the result is that most people don't see, she explained. I understood her point. There were those like me, who were dragged into this world by someone else, and then there were those with the innate talent to see. Many had the talent, but they suppressed it themselves because they were denied by adults. But my senior mentioned that he had such experiences, and there was one more person. That other person probably had it since childhood, I said. Takanaka, the fortune teller, smiled and turned over another card. I understand when it comes to Hanayama. She's very intelligent and has managed things well. She's one of those people. The other person I mentioned was likely Hanayama, my classmate from junior high, and another fellow occult enthusiast. She had the endorsement of my senior regarding her sensitivity to the supernatural. But, Takanaka paused as she turned over the cards. I think that person might be different. He denied the world that rejected him, and then he denied himself. That's why he became so strong. I didn't fully understand, but suddenly, the words my senior had once said came to mind and disappeared, leaving me bewildered. I don't have parents. They're both dead. Surely not. It couldn't be. He's very strong, but also very fragile. He's so powerful and immense that we couldn't possibly support him, yet he's as fragile as a dry twig. That's why. She turned over the final card and gently covered it with her hand. That's why, at that moment, it's your role to support him. How was it? Did you ever see things that others couldn't when you were young? Maybe that was a significant talent of yours. Furthermore, if you were ever denied or rejected, you don't have to let go of it. Being different from others is your unique talent or personality trait that no one else possesses. If you have any other stories you would like me to introduce or any questions about the stories, please leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next episode.